this is a very important context. So now we are getting a little bit deeper into the things here, and things will start to be something that you have never heard, or especially talking about you. I know that you guys have heard about SDLC, client, role, where but this thing is something new to you. I'm pretty sure about it. Every software has certain features. For example, when you go to hotmail.com, you can personalize it a little bit. Instead of seeing 25 emails in the Hotmail inbox, you can see 100 emails or 50 emails. These are called as personalization options. There are many personalization options available in Siebel. I can give you a few examples. As part of my tutorial, these will come. And as part of whenever we are discussing a requirement, I'll give you a requirement. Who knows it's a personalization option? The user will say, is it possible to resize this thing? Please gather this requirement. You'll say, no, this is a personalization option. You can do it yourself. I don't have to do any coding. I don't have to gather it. So my point is, this is personalization. And Siebel out of the box provides many personalization features. For example, if they want, they can hide all the columns and keep only the few columns that they want. They can also, as part of their options, they also have one very interesting option. When they go to a screen, they can set the default query or like default PDQ. Whenever I come here, like let's say to all accounts, I come to all activities, that query will automatically, like star current activity is getting executed. So this thing users can personalize what should get executed whenever I come here. Making sense? The point is there are many personalization options available in Siebel, and you guys should be a master of that. And also what it means is, it means zero customization required. Whenever we are doing the analysis of a requirement, we always think, okay, this is a great requirement from the users, we gather it properly, then we also go behind the scenes and think how much gap is there between Siebel product and the requirement. And that's when we come up with gap levels. Personalization means zero gap. Second thing is, very important thing is admin work. For example, let's say business admin. I'm typically talking about the power user from my earlier context. IT admin, I'm really talking about the app admin, right? So what happens is, some of the things are administered. Let's say, can we use Siebel for selling servers also? We are using it for laptops. Bingo, why not? You just have to set up a new product, right? It's not hardwired around the product. So it's an administration thing, and business guys can set it up. But there's more depth to such a thing. They want to know whether the functionality supports all those things. But that's fine. But the point is, product setup is required. It is not personalization. Users cannot themselves do it. Someone else has to do it. If we give the access to users, can they do it? Yes, but that's not the point. Typically, it is done by someone else. User sales reps. Again, in the context, you know that we call everybody as users also. But in this context, when I was explaining things, I was only calling these people as users. These 4 people as users. Because these are also users. But when I say users cannot do this, power users can do this, it's a perfectly grammatically correct line. Context change, and only these 4 people are being called users now. Okay? I want to, you see my point? Coming back. So, IT administrators, for example, setting up of LOVs. This is a perfect example. Whatever you see here, whatever you see here are set up by an administrators on some other screen, right here, right here.
Even the accesses?
Yes. So access levels. So this LOVs here, these LOVs can be easily entered here. This is entered right here. If you enter it here, it will show there. There's an exercise that you'll be doing down the line. But the point is, to understand this context, we don't have to do any compilation. Anybody knows the meaning of compilation? Remember in the C++ days, you used to code something and you used to compile the program and generate an exe file. You remember anything like that? Have you ever done? So whenever we used to make a code, we have to compile it. Debug, compile it. Eventually, whenever there was no bug, we would compile it and create an exe file. So, okay, not a problem. Let's understand this. In Siebel tools, you do the developers do the development, right? When they do the development, they they compile it, and then they create an SRF file. You know that in chapter 4 we discussed that, right? So they generate this SRF file, and that is a new code now. That's where the entire code is present now. The point is, in administration, you don't have to do any compilation. That's the difference between administration and configuration. Configuration means more coding is required. Siebel tools is needed, and a compilation will occur, and then that SRF has to be released in a systematic manner into the production system. Whereas in case of administration, you go to admin screen and enter a new LOV, it will start showing immediately. Let's come to config. Then we'll understand how is admin different. Config is, important thing is, Siebel tools is needed, development effort is needed, compilation is done, and SRF is generated, and that has to be released into production. It looks like simple thing. Oh, it will take, instead of 1 minute, it will take 5 minutes. No. It can take 1 month to release that system, because releasing the system and changing the production system is a big deal, and there's a huge production rollout cycle. When you study SDLC, we talk about the cycles there. The last part is production rollout. That is not a small task. It requires a series of tasks, and the development lead has to talk to everybody in this to be able to release the system eventually. So if in case of administration, he doesn't have to do anything. He just has to go in Siebel GUI and change it. Remember in CRM on demand, in the GUI itself, things can be done. That's the beauty.
That's what is done by application.
Yeah. In the technical world, they call it whether you have to on the go, you can make the changes, or on the runtime, can you do the changes in the runtime? That's what they call it. So admin means you can do everything. All these operations can be done without stopping the server, without stopping the things. You can just on the go, you can do all this. Config means development work will be more, compilation will be more, but Siebel effort to do the development will be less in comparison to customization. Customization means each script will be needed, or a workflow will be needed, or an AM, assignment manager job will be rewritten, or something. These are all called as customizations. And all these require a lot of effort. Typically, the gap is very high, considered very high, and the number of hours, man hours required to develop such a job is also very high. Amount of testing that needs to be done is also very high. Okay, customization to me simply means each script has to be written, or a workflow has to be written.
Developers.
And developers do it. You don't have to worry about it. But you should be able to figure out whether the lot of development is required or not. And if someone says it requires customization, you should know what they are talking. That means they have to do it in Siebel tools, and they cannot do it from GUI. Whenever they're talking about LOB and PDQ, you should know that they are talking about administration. Whenever we are discussing a requirement, and I say that this is a customization option, you should know what I'm talking about. When I say this is a personalization, you should know instantly what I talk. Right, that this is available to the end users to do the things. Heavy customization is a big brother of customization. Basically, this is my own language. I'm using the language the way I want. Like heavy customization means a lot of e-script. Sometimes e-script is just do this thing and small thing. Sometimes e-script is this big. I want to draw a difference here. There's a huge difference. This is a very big gap. This is a very big gap versus a small gap. So heavy customization. This is as much as it will hit you. C++ is, Siebel at the end of the day is coded in C++. There are certain things which Siebel just cannot do. For example, Outlook integration in 7.7. Siebel just could not do, finish. It requires, do you think with heavy customization by making J2E code integrate with it and providing some other special things, we could make Siebel do it? Well, yes, you could do many things. Then you can actually use Siebel to fly jets. But that's not the point. The point is, we wanna, there is a thing, we behave within a width. We don't behave outside that width. That's a lot of width. Heavy customization is available to us, but we don't use it to manage, missile programs. You see? So C++ product level gaps are there, and you should be able to investigate into Siebel and say, okay, God, this is a product level gap. Okay, guys, this is a product level gap, and we cannot do it. Siebel should do it. Sometimes some things look like simple configurations, but they are actually C++ level gaps, because Siebel, to make money, has hardwired them at the C++ level. Those functionalities, you will think, oh, this functionality is present, just a little tweaking will help. For example, I'll give you a perfect example because it hit me one day. I promised to the users, came back and entire project finished. Development was coding was going on. Last few items were left. This was one of the last few items. And we realized it just cannot be done. I'll tell you which one is it. This verify button in 7.7, I don't know about 6.3, 7.5, blah, 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 but 7.7, verify button. When you click on this, after entering the asset number, you enter verify, it will go and check the entitlements and bring it back here. It is basically doing nothing. It's simply checking the asset number, going to the asset record, looking at the children entitlements and bringing here. So they said that if there are like active entitlements, they should be coming. If there are dead entitlements, they should also be coming. Not a big deal. I just have to change the filter. Search spec, you guys know that. I just have to change the search spec and I will get all the stuff here. There are any issues? No. This is coded at the C++ level and it cannot be changed. When I told the developer, so one option was to redo the entire thing. Second option was not accept this requirement. There was no option in the middle. So we decided not to redo the entire thing because that was not within the scope of the project. We wanted to keep it to the minimum basic configurations. We thought it's a basic configuration we promised. Yes, not doable requirement within the scope. Again, typically whatever is at the C++ level and it will come as a requirement and you cannot do it at the C++ and it requires something at the C++ level. Typically it would mean you can do it using a lot of customization, but you don't want to go that route either. You know, in making this decision, C++ versus heavy customization, you should know what they're talking, product level gap, C++ level functionality, class level functionality, same as C++, because Siebel, I don't know how Siebel is coded, you know, by the Siebel systems, but then C++ or classes is what they use. End of the story for us. We just, as BAs, we say class level functionality. This is a class level functionality. This is C++ level functionality. And that's enough for us to understand. Whenever that thing hits you, you guys should know it is totally undoable. Okay? So when we are talking, if I say this is a C++ level thing, you guys know instantly what I said. It is a Siebel product level thing and it cannot be undone. Okay. So Siebel के अंदर एक let's say field है. That field की property in the tools read only or to customize. Whenever say programming is required, that means that they'll be using eScript language. eScript language is the one that they use to customize Siebel. Okay, and that's a Siebel proprietary language, and it's similar to JavaScript. This similar to JavaScript comes with a disclaimer. I don't know anything. My developer friends told me. I've never used Java desktop. No. JavaScript, I don't know what it is. No, it's just eScript is like a scripting language. If you do not know what is a scripting language, just cram it. Don't dive deep. eScript is the programming language used to change the behavior. Once you see eScript code, you will know what is eScript.
It's just like
because the other
actually, यार पता क्या है? I've heard 80s in Java. मुझे कुछ पता नहीं यार ये, पर मैं अभी भी आज की डेट में भी अगर आप किसी BS से बात करते हैं, you say it's so probably 80s in Java. I've heard, I just came to my mind, 8.1 and 8 are in Java. They are not in C++. I know ICM is in Java. I don't care really. You can see, but at the end of the day, that level you can call it C++ or you can call it product level or you can call it class level, whatever you want to call it.